Sorry, guys. The phone rang and it got me off. Anyways, what I was continuing to say is, do you know when a family member discards you and then they lure you back in with sweet nothings, promises they don't keep, false apologies? That codependent is excited, hopeful. They're hopeful for a new start, thinking things have changed. But they don't. And this is the why they constantly discard this person. And so when your spouse finally goes no contact with their parents, the guilt that you're going to feel as the other spouse is going to be tremendous. It's gonna hurt. And you'll even get in your head that thinking, what am I doing? I'm hurting my spouse so bad by discontinuing the relationship with his narcissistic parents. And you'll go back and forth with yourself. You're gonna be like, is this the right thing? And it's probably going to be one of the hardest things that you've done in your life by going no contact with these people, because your husband or wife are moping around depressed that this relationship never worked out and that you no longer want to be in contact with them. And with time, the wound does heal. But you have to stay strong for your spouse. You have to be the backbone in this family. You have to grab your husband or wife, hug them, and tell them that everything is going to be okay. What you should not do is belittle or badmouth his parents or her parents. What you should not do is get in fights with them for being depressed and moping around. What you should not do is call them names and belittle them. Because all of that, what I just mentioned, is exactly what his parents have done to you and that relationship. So you should not act the way the narcissist does. Instead, you should be supportive, kind, considerate, and loving. And with time, things will get better, and the train will get back on the track, and your life will move forward without these people. Your relationship will grow stronger. The drama that was in it, that was causing conflict, actually causing the conflict in your marriage, will disappear. Because you have conflict with these people, that's why you're going no contact. And then going no contact creates conflict in your marriage too. So instead of fighting about this conflict, you need to be supportive. Even though you are the one that got the most mistreatment. Even though you're the one that's been hurt in recent years the most. And I say recent years because think about how your spouse has been treated. Think about how they've been conditioned into believing that this behavior is acceptable. That this behavior is called love. Think about that. So you need to gather around your family, your husband and your children. Maybe have a family meeting once a week, see how everyone's doing. Maybe get into couples therapy or marriage counseling. Maybe even put your children into counseling so they can express how it feels to lose their grandparents. Everybody needs to support each other. So when your husband comes to you and he's crying about he misses his parents and to give them one more chance, instead of being ugly, you hold your husband, you hug him, and you tell him, honey, I know it's really hard right now, but I don't think we deserve this. I love you so much that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to fight for my marriage and keep it safe. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to save my marriage. And if that means going no contact with the people that are not on the same team as us, then that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to let them win. That's not how this works. Stay strong and be kind. And if you're dealing with a lot right now, is not the time to talk to your husband about it. Right now is not the time to complain or compare apples to apples. Because to tell you the truth, you're the apple, he's the orange. You can't compare the two. So you can't compare that relationship he has with his parents with you and his parents. You can't compare the two. They're totally two different experiences. So, during this time, be there for one another, except you are not going to talk about the mistreatment that your parents have done to you. You're going to see a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a counselor, maybe even a life coach. I have several people I talk to that are dealing with narcissistic abuse. Now, I can't counsel them, I can't give them therapy, but I can give them my own life advice. That's all I can do. Because I've been through a similar situation, I can relate to what they're going through. I can't give you a mental aspect. I can give you a personal aspect and share what has worked for me and what I've done. And that's what I do with the clients I have. And trust me when I tell you, when you find someone that actually can relate to your story and knows exactly what you've been through, it's a relief that you're not the crazy one. It's a relief that somebody else knows exactly what you're talking about and what you've been through. And you share your story with this person, and that person shares their story and relates to your situation. Because I don't think a lot of people realize the abuse that you have went through is detrimental to someone's health, mental health, and well-being. So when you finally get that reassurance that no, you're not the crazy one. Yes, these people do have a personality disorder. You feel relieved. So, what I can tell you, what has worked for me in my marriage, because I'm the one that has put my foot down finally and said, no, there's no more contact. What I can tell you is I do not talk about anything to my husband. Nothing. I don't put his parents down. I don't talk about his parents. I don't talk about them to my children. Anything, how I feel, I either journal it or I go talk to someone. I try to find a specialist in narcissistic abuse. Or you could find someone in like family therapy. They're really good. And that's what's keep my marriage strong, because what happens a lot of times, or after you go no contact, the marriage falls apart because you're complaining. They're complaining to you. Now you two are complaining about the same situation, maybe a little bit different over here and a little different over here, but you're sitting there complaining to each other. It does not solve anything. Because you feel one way, they feel another. They have this experience, you have that experience. You can't relate. That's the truth. Your experience is totally different than theirs. And they grew up in a house like this. You didn't. So you have other experience in your background of knowing what's right and wrong and what's respect and disrespect. They don't. It's two different situations, two different circumstances. So don't do that to each other. Going back, well, your mom did this and your mom did that. And no. Like, it doesn't solve anything. Like I said, get a life coach, get a therapist, get a counselor. You go and talk to them. And your husband does the same. But even if you go to marriage counseling, now, my husband and I went to marriage counseling, and it worked wonders. But even what I was going to say is, even if you went to marriage counseling, it may not be the best for both of y'all to be in the same room with each other every session. Because you want to say stuff that maybe would hurt your partner's feelings, and you're not going to say it, then it's not out in the air. Or you say it and it hurts your partner, and then they're mad. So you need to have an individual counselor or therapist to talk to alone. It's helpful to go to marriage counseling, but it's also helpful to express the way you feel without that person that you love judging you. So stay strong, guys. You know, what's worked for me may not work for you, but it's worked in my marriage where you don't talk about that to each other. Unless one of your partner is trying to confide in you about something, but is not arguing or pointing fingers at each other. That's okay. If your partner is trying to confide, like, hey, I just want to let you know, sorry, I have allergies in my throat today. Hey, I just want to let you know that I'm really sorry that my mom put you through that. Or, hey, I just want to let you know that I feel depressed. But you don't go say, oh, you feel depressed because your mom's a narcissist. You don't do that. You stop talking and you start listening to each other. Stop talking, start listening. If your partner's coming to confide in something that he's emotional about and not attacking you, you listen and you stay quiet. You don't say things to interrupt the way that he is feeling about a circumstance. He's trying to get close to you, and you take that opportunity to get close to him. If your partner is coming and trying to have a heart-to-heart talk, that's different than bickering at each other about what his parents did and did not do. This is how the hearts, that's how you get close. When you have each other's heart. So you listen. And you stay quiet. And you don't say anything that's going to be rude, ugly, or selfish. You listen. Same thing for you. If you need to have a heart-to-heart, you can. But don't be selfish. Don't say ugly things about his parents. You can say, I feel this way. You know? It's good to talk to each other. What's not good is to compare apples to oranges. That's what's not good. So anyways, sorry about the first video. If you're on this video, go to the first video. It'll be the first part. And I just wish you luck. I'm trying to give you advice on the things that I have went through and what's worked for me, and hopefully it could work for you. Because you don't want to lose this relationship to the narcissist by bickering at each other. You want to take this situation and get stronger. That's what you need to do, is take advantage of this situation that has made you weak in your relationship, and take advantage of it being able to make your relationship stronger if you put the work in it. So you're taking advantage of the way it's been weak. You're going to make it strong, because they have completely weakened that marriage or relationship. So you're going to take the weakest point of that relationship and build it back strong. You're going to make it strong again. All right, guys. Peace, love, and harmony. Contact me at Good Intentions Life Coaching. If you need any help or advice, please leave a comment down below, a thumbs up if you like, and share it to anyone that you know that might need this advice or help if they're going through a situation like this. Okay? Bye, guys.